Hello, everyone. All right, talking about the face-to-face experience of God. And there's a lot to it. In the attempt to reach that peak of spiritual experience, it was not my time. It was not my time, but the fact that I tried, much good came out of it that would not have come out of it. You might say, how did you prepare? What did you do? So let me make a quick synopsis. Several months before, even before I started on this sadhana, this attempt, I had been listening on audio tapes to the 4 Gospels, and I listened to each one of the Gospels twice. I heard so much of the Gospels that I got bored with them. You know, I said, how many times can I hear the Gospel? I already know them quite well. And to hear them again and again and again, you know, if anything can get tedious, even something wonderful and good. You could hear a song that you love, but if you hear it 100 times, you're going to say, give me a break, even though I love the song. So so then I said, what can I hear? What can I hear? And I remembered all the incredible things I have read and studied in the past. And so I went over to St. Mary of Agreda. They call her Venerable, but she's Saint, so I call her Saint. St. Mary of Agreda's Mystical City of God, which is, to me, next to the Gospels, the greatest book ever written. It's a 4-volume book. And it takes about 20 hours. So I heard that entire thing, and some of it is so deep that I would just go back to the chapters and listen to it again and listen to it again. And so I probably heard 25% of it twice. So I probably heard 24 hours of Mystical City of God. And then after that, I went into St. Faustina, and I was reading her book of her life and her. She's famous for bringing forth the devotion of mercy. It's a very valuable, very wonderful account of her life and her conversations with Jesus and her sadhana with Jesus as the benefactor of mercy, the giver of mercy, and she put it forth. He put it forth to her, and she put it forth to us, and it's all in her book. The book is huge. It's like 600 pages. I read about 20% of it. I went into the 200s, and then I said, let me put it on audio, and I put it on audio. But unfortunately, they only gave you half the book on audio, but I heard the whole half, and then you had to sign up for something, so I didn't sign up for anything. I figured I'll find it somewhere else for the whole thing, and so I put that off. But then I heard more things about Saint Anne Catherine Emmerich and Saint Bridget of Sweden, their revelations about the life of the Holy Virgin and Jesus. So I must have listened over 3 months to about 100 hours of saints, gospel, scripture, and saints' accounts. Besides that, I prayed constantly. I did nothing, secular. I didn't watch any secular entertainment. I only, that had to do with people. I only watched things that had to do with animals, animal documentaries. That's my entertainment. Animal documentaries, things that didn't bring me back to the world. Because nature is sacred. Nature is not the world. The world, it brings back memories, connections, so that you're pushed back into the time and space world, especially the patriarchal time and space world, which is so against God, so much against holiness and love. God is love, and patriarchy is the opposite of love. It is the rule of Satan. Satan rules the world and he works through men. Don't you know Jesus said Satan is the prince of this world? The ruler of this world. So when you talk about this world, it's not just a world like the matriarchal world 6,000 years ago. Prior to that, when women ruled the world and Mother God was worshipped and women were the priests, love was what was going on. It was love, 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 not hate, 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 and conflict and war and exploitation, which is what we have in the world today because it is patriarchal. And I'm fighting to get back matriarchy. By the way, Jesus was a matriarch and so was Buddha. They both preached the matriarchal message to love your neighbor as yourself, to do unto others as you would have others do unto you. This is a mother. A mother loves all her children. In patriarchy, they only love their own and they hate their neighbor. They make war with their neighbor. They exploit their neighbor. They enslave their neighbor and they attack their neighbor. That's not matriarchy. Matriarchy is a woman. And Jesus, you look at the Beatitudes, blessed are the poor. Blessed those who are persecuted for my sake. Blessed are the Sudras, the untouchables. Blessed are the poorest of the poor. Blessed are the homeless. They shall see God. They shall see mercy. The Holy Virgin said, my soul doth magnify the Lord, and my spirit hath me rejoiced in God my Savior, for he has filled the hungry with good things. The hungry with good things, but the rich he has sent away empty. More rich people go to hell than the poor people. I'm not saying all poor people are saints. There's a lot of criminals that are poor, you know. They become thieves, criminals, con men and women, users, abusers. I'm not saying they're all angels. By no means. Neither are all the rich, all wicked and evil. There's benefactors, there's people who have money and they use their money for good. They use their money to help the poor. They use their money to help animals. They use their money to do activism. They give to charity. They do all kinds of wonderful, wonderful things. They build orphanages, throughout the ages. They've done charity work. They build churches. They build convents, they built monasteries, all kinds of good stuff. There's good and bad on both sides, rich and poor. But generally speaking, blessed are the poor, and the rich he sends empty away. All right, so I had to postpone my seeing God face to face. But now I pray. When I pray, I'm really intimate with my God. And I say, Sophia. Sometimes I say, Sophia, how are you when I get up in the morning or afternoon when I get up? I say, Sophia, how are you? She says, I'm always fine. I'm in a state of bliss. I'm with God. So I said, how am I? Well, how do you think I am? It's funny. And then at the end of the day, I said, Sophia, did I do anything wrong today? Was I okay today? She said, you were fine. You never do anything wrong, she says. Really? But I said to Sophia. It's hard for me to say Sophia instead of Sophia because we're so used to saying Sophia Loren. So, Sophia, I said, God, Sophia, please correct me when I do wrong. So you have to work with your mind, your own heart, your own body, your own psychology, and you have to program yourself like a hypnotist, like a method of hypnosis, a method of self-control, self-regulation. So I know they all work together. The self-regulation, the self-control, the managing oneself. So to manage oneself, I said to Sophia, I said, please guide me, steer me right, and correct me. If I do something wrong, please immediately correct me. Please correct me. So the next day or that day, whatever, soon right after that, I did something wrong. I'm not going to explain it, but as soon as I did it, she said, correction. I heard her because I gave her permission. In other words, I managed my brain so I could hear God, Sophia, say, correction. And she said, correction. And she told me what I did wrong. And I quickly fixed it. I quickly changed what I had done. And I do ask her, whenever, ask yourself, God, and God is within you. Whenever I do wrong, please correct me. The greatest prayer you can say to God is, I love you, and pray for others. Pray for the souls in purgatory. Pray for the poor. Pray for those who need help. Pray for those who are disadvantaged. Pray for the homeless. Pray for animals. But one of the greatest, absolutely greatest, most important prayers is to pray for the souls in purgatory. I have an active ministry in purgatory. And that is considered the highest form of charity. And very, very few people or pray for them. All right, see you next case. I'm past my time.